Hi and welcome to Work with a Week Assembly. We hope your Easter holiday was restful and you took advantage of some of the newfound freedoms that we've been granted more recently. This week's been really exciting with the DT project. There's been a really good buzz despite a teacher's worst health and safety nightmares with a classroom full of saws and hammers and glue guns and all sorts of other equipment that could has lots of potential, let's just say. But children have been amazing and hopefully they've all had a really good time and learned such a vast amount of skills in such a short space of time. I'm going to hand over to the teachers who are going to talk about the work of the week. Please look out for the new bedtime book box, which will be coming home with one child in each class this week. It's celebrating reading, but also giving you a chance to snuggle up with some hot chocolate, some muffins and a story. Take care. Can I just say thank you for everyone's support this week. It's good to be back. Great to see everybody and enjoy the sunny weekend.
Hi, in RENS this week, my workers of the week are Aya and Charlie. We'll start with Aya, who is new to our class and started school for the very first time on Monday. She's come in every day with a big smile on her face and she's settled in amazingly. It's like she's been here from the beginning. She's been so busy, in fact I've barely seen her playing with all her friends and interacting with all the activities around the classroom. I spoke to her earlier and she said she loved playing outside this week. My second work of the week, Charlie, has come back after Easter super enthusiastic about writing and letters. He's been trying to write his K for his name, Charlie, every day, and he's even been writing other letters outside with chalks and inside as well. So well done, Charlie, keep it up. We talked about that you'd be able to write your name before you know it. Thank you.
Hi, this week for Star of the Week we've got two children that have been wowing us all week. The first child is Ellie and she's been doing some fantastic reading in her guided reading. She's been trying really hard to sound out the words in her head before reading them. And the second child that we'd like to give it to is Ollie Kitchen. He's been doing some fantastic writing this week and here it is here. And he's been trying really hard to use his phase-free digraphs and trigraphs and write some sentences about these pictures. So fantastic job, Ollie, as well. Thank you very much. Bye.
Good afternoon, everybody. This week in the Starlings class, we've been designing and making bird feeders. And the two children that we picked out for our workers of the week have worked really, really hard. They've showed independence, perseverance and just general confidence in what they've been doing. This first model is a mock model of Harvey Tomlinson's bird feeder. He chose a very unique design and it was very tricky, but he didn't give up. He did need a little bit of help from an adult, but he didn't give up and made a fabulous bird feeder. That was his mock design, and then this is his actual one made out of plastic so that it will be weatherproof. The other person that's really shone this week is Robin Kaziki. This was her mock design. You can see it's even got a perch on for the birds to stand on as they're feeding from the little hole. And again, she chose a very complex shape, which took a lot of work and needed lots of perseverance. And here's her finished product made of plastic and using a lot of duct tape, which took a long time to make. So well done, Harvey and Robin from the Starlings this week.
Our children in Finishes this week have been working super hard on building their birdhouses from recyclable materials. And two individuals have stood out to Mrs. Wilson and I for really showing absolute dedication to the job in hand. They have impressed us with their independent working skills as well. They have followed our new rule of me, you, we, where they try and solve the problem themselves before they ask a friend for help, and if still failing that they're struggling, then they come and ask for an adult to help them, and they've done that brilliantly. They have designed and made two really good examples of bird feeders, and they have just been so helpful to the rest of the people around them. Our two workers of the week this week are Rebecca and Isla Caddis. Well done. You have both impressed Mrs. Wilson and I so much. Your finished products are looking so good and a real testament to your hard work. Well done.
This week's Child of the Week in Kestrel class is Joey! Well done, Joey. Joey's worked really hard this week on his designs for his bird box in DT. He's done some really fabulous designs, 3D design, and he's put all the dimensions on it as well, and was really immersed in all of his work, and that's what I love to see. So a big well done for Joey there. Our next child of the week is Athena. Athena has worked so hard in DT this week. She's really thrown you all into it, haven't you, darling? She's worked so hard at her sawing skills, her hammering skills, and sanding down all the edges. Her practical skills this week have developed really well, and she does say that she does help Daddy at home a lot, and I can tell, because you've been a real good role model for your team, and she's been ever so patient waiting her turn within her team. So a big well done for Athena this week. And our book box this week. Our book box this week, I'm giving to somebody who's shown a real commitment over Easter to reading, and he reads for pleasure. He loves his books so much, and that's what we love at Gilbert Primary School, reading for pleasure and our love of books, and he helps to spread that joy. It is George. Big well done. George read 20 times over the Easter break, and he loves his books so much, so I'm going to send him home some cupcakes, hot chocolate, and a really nice book to share with somebody at home to say, well done. Excellent.
Hi everyone, Miss McGarry here. I am here to announce my worker of the week. Now this week, obviously we've all been doing our DT week, and we've been making our birdhouses. And 2 people I have picked for their birdhouse, but not for their outcome, for their teamwork. So I have picked Freya and Leah, and theirs is this one here. And they have just been an absolutely fantastic team, working really well together. And actually, they chose to work with each other because I think they knew that they would really inspire one another. And it's really worked. They've communicated really well, made sure they've taken it in turns with everything that they've been doing, and making sure that they've both been looking after their birdhouse in the entire process. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do today with their painting, but they are my workers of the week for their attitude in our DT lessons this week. My bedtime box this week is going to go to somebody who is always a falcon, always shows me falcon behaviour, is a really good, proud, active learner, always looks after our environment and keeps it safe, keeps it tidy, and just is always helping me, helping others, and that is Charlotte. So Charlotte's going to take our bedtime box this week for being an absolutely exemplary student.
The worker of the week for the Ospreys this week, I have chosen 3 children who have worked fantastically this week as a team. So this is the work in front of us that you can see. So they have worked exceptionally hard to make 2 windmills. So this is the work of Peter, Dom, and Finley. At the beginning of the week, we started by making, this was our cold windmill that we made, okay, and the children were tasked to use a variety of different materials to create a windmill that would essentially work, okay, and the boys worked exceptionally hard. What impressed me the most about the mechanism that they made was they thought really carefully about how to use the elastic band in order to fix in the different pieces of doweling to make this windmill work. Then throughout the week, they've taken it step by step, making sure they've learnt different processes, such as how to actually make a windmill function. We've thought about how to make a pulley system. We've thought about how to develop our woodwork skills, so the children got a chance to cut different pieces of wood to different sizes, how to nail those pieces of wood together, how to use a hot glue gun. And then by the end of the week, the children had created this fantastic model. Now, what stood out to me most about this group of children was how well they actually worked together as a team. They were problem solving, so every time they came up with a problem or came across a problem, they worked together to solve it. And what I really liked was how well they actually worked together to take that next step into making sure that actually the model worked to the best of its ability. So every time they managed to achieve something, they took the next step into, okay, how can I now make that a little bit better? How can I make it almost like a little bit more complex? How can I challenge and push myself? And the conversation that came from these three boys was absolutely fantastic. Now, these are the windmills the other children made this week as well. So they've all done fantastically in the Ospreys, made me really, really proud. But the three workers for the week that I've chosen this week for their determination to succeed, for their ability to work together as a team, for the level of conversation they've had together, were Finley, Dom and Peter. So a huge well done, boys. I've been really, really impressed just by the level of skill you've shown this week, by your determination to succeed, by the resilience you've shown, and actually by how much you've challenged yourself. So huge well done, boys. Keep up that hard work.
I've been so super impressed with the Eagles this week, with their DT work with our windmills. Their creativity and their ideas have really been impressive. The two people who've stood out to me this week have been George Bishop and Ruben. Their teamwork skills that they've shown this week, their creative thinking, their problem solving has really been commendable. They've thought so hard and worked so carefully together in their team to create a really interesting and a functional windmill. You should be very impressed with yourself, boys.